Welcome, everybody. It is so good to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever applies to you, wherever you are. I have two shameless plugs to get us started today. One, ChefConf was great for us. I hope it was great for you. If you haven't yet had a chance to see the sessions, head over to chefconf.io and see they're all still there for you. You still have to register, but at the end of the month, we should be moving them to a non-registering platform. And if you somehow aren't aware yet, we are streaming live on Tuesdays and Thursdays on both YouTube and Twitch. So come join us there. The DevRel team talks about all kinds of great stuff, and sometimes we even play games. So come hang out. And with that, I'll hand it off to you, Prashant.
Thanks, Benny, and good morning, good evening. I guess good afternoon also, everyone. Really happy to be back talking to you all. I had a great time interacting with many of you during ChefConf, and I'm excited to talk to you all again. As we promised, we will come more and more often to you all to talk about some of the things that we are working on, and some of the things that we are already released, and some of the things that we are even thinking of starting. Right, I think last couple of interactions were super helpful. We got like very specific and useful feedback on the infra views within Automate and a couple of other occurrences as well. So I am finding these interactions very useful, and hopefully you will also. And today we have actually a lot of cool things to talk about. I want to give a brief overview of what all we have accomplished in a bit, but the main topic today is data feed. All right, we have ability to export data that you could view in Automate to external tools and even workflows. And with that, you can actually do a lot more than what you can do with just Chef Automate. So we want to talk a little bit on what does data feed mean, what are the different integrations we have, what are the different data sources you can connect to, how easy we are planning to make it for you all, and when can you expect it, and if you want to sign up for early access, how can you get access to it, all those cool stuff. And then we want to deep dive a little bit again from this data perspective, looking at it from a compliance lens. Right, so when we look at using Inspect and Automate to check the compliance posture, how can this powerful capability within Automate help you set up complex workflows or address complex workflows through ServiceNow integration or other integrations? So we'll do a little deep dive on 2-3 case studies or use cases. Sorry, not case studies, couple of use cases there. And then we will get to the demo part. And as usual, let's keep this interactive. Keep sending us questions. We will try and answer them as they come. Before we get started, hopefully you all know me. I am Prashant Najudappa. I head the product function. And along with me, we have 3 speakers. There are 3 other folks also on the call. But Ankur is the lead product manager for Automate. He will give you an overview of the data feed capability in general. And Sharan, he heads the compliance and security initiative. Along with him, we also have Lokesh, who is here to answer any questions that you might have, or if there is any conversation that kicks in, and if there is any specific need, Lokesh can jump in as well. But Sharan is going to lead that conversation. And Vivek is the developer, and also he manages a team of platform services. He will be talking about, he will be giving us the demo. Along with him, we have Pradipta and Vivek Shankar. Pradipta again falls in the compliance bucket, so Pradipta and Lokesh will be happy to answer some of those compliance questions. And Vivek Shankar is one of the developer in the ServiceNow or data feed integration. So we are about 6 or 7 folks today, eager to talk, share information, and also have a dialogue as we go along. With that, let me get into some of the highlights. Right. this looks like a lot, and we have been busy. We have put our heads down. As we told in ChefConf, we have we have got the rhythm back. We have been delivering, as you see, most of the teams have been delivering every 2 weeks. You can see that in Automate, you can see that in Workstation, and Inspect has got a monthly rhythm. Similarly, Habitat too. So we have been pushing updates quite frequently, and we have and each of these updates are loaded even. So expect this velocity to increase further as we go into Q4, which is where we are now, and as we head into 2021. Just to look at some of the highlights. Oh, okay, it went to the release note, but just to look at some of the highlights that we have. Again, it's a lot because it's reflection, it's summary of the last 3 months deliverables. But I want to call out some things around improvements in Test Kitchen, which I think you all value a lot. And also, one of the things that community as well as our customers have been asking for was around the core plan refresh. We agreed we had been very sluggish after acquisition, especially on the core plan, habitat development and core plan refresh. We have got momentum there. We have started releasing. We are doing internal beta, internal launches, and also it's available. Some of them are already released to customers and community as well. So this is on, and you will see more and more updates on the both core plan and base plan refresh of the habitat. In addition to that, we have fixed the security issues that were there in supermarket. This was a long pending one, and there were a few other updates that we had to do on supermarket. That is done, and we are now looking at having a tighter integration between supermarket and Automate. This is also courtesy of the new the team that is there, and they are actually churning out results quite fast. So you will see more updates in supermarket and Chef Manage as well. Right, and there is a lot of work that has gone in infra client and server, Mac OS support, and updated Ruby, Postgres, Elasticsearch, all of these things in infra server, and that has led to performance improvements. And we have also made policy file enhancements to help in the policy as code journey. And on the other side, we have released a lot of resource pack. Most of it is concentrated on AWS, and next month onwards, you will see more of these things are available in Azure. These are all available in Inspect Git repo. You will see this being maintained a lot more actively. In addition to that, for our licensed customers, we have also added additional premium content on both audit and remediate. And we have taken the compliance phase release that was made in infra and brought some of those capabilities within Inspect and made required enhancements. But what I want to call out, or before that, maybe we have also launched BYOL based listing in Marketplace. So if you are, if your organization has, allows you to try out things on Marketplace more easily than on-prem, then you could now go ahead and install Automate and Infra, the bundle package in both AWS and Azure. In Azure, there is a test drive also, so you can use the test drive, and you can get a 60-day trial, the trial license as well to try this out. And in a couple of months, you can expect a transactable offer also coming into Marketplace. So that is something which we will come back to you with a focus session on Marketplace. But last, but the important thing that I want to bring attention to before I hand over to Ankur and team is SAS. Right? We have launched the beta program. It says pilot, it is beta program. We have launched it. We are looking for early adopters. We have a couple already signed up. We are working with them to set this up for them. We still have 3 slots open, I believe. And we would love to have you talk to my product management team. I'll send out a link with which you can reach out to them. The advantages you get with this is ready to use Chef software for you and your team, right? Zero maintenance with respect to installation and updates. We will take care of it. We will make sure that it is highly available, it is up, and if there are any issues, our team is looking at it and make sure that it is running on your running always, and keep that support active. And you also get access to our product and engineering team, which will help us help you in shaping the product roadmap, and help us in getting very direct feedback from practitioners and the champions of our product. With that, I will send out this link in the chat for you all to fill out the form if you want to sign up for beta, or if you want to talk to our product manager to learn more about the beta. And with that, I'll hand it over to Ankur. Ankur?
Yeah, thanks, Prashant. I hope my screen is visible. Thank you all. That's what I can say after the great participation which we saw in ChefCon. We look forward to this every year to try and understand your concerns, to get a sense of your aspirations, and build products and deliver solutions which has remarkable impact in your workflows and your life in general. So thank you once again for that. The focus of this webinar is on data feed. It's still a feature behind a feature flag. We are going to make it GA very soon. Could be a couple of weeks from now. But yeah, nevertheless, I'll give you a brief overview of that and we'll get into demo side. Well, before we start that, it could be interesting to have a poll to try and understand which current report views are useful to you all. Riza, can we have a poll? So you can select one or all the options which are applicable for you, the report views which you use a day in, day out, and which have helped you in some process workflow improvements. Thank you. Hopefully everyone has voted in this poll. If you can have the results. Wow, so it feels like most of you have used either the client run reports or compliance scan reports in general. Even the infra server views folks have started using. So that's good to know. If you believe the desktop use case may not be relevant for the audience here, that could be a reason that no one has participated. But yeah, thanks. That's helpful. Moving ahead, maybe let me brief you on what data feed is. So using this capability, you can send your client run and compliance scan data to the third-party integrations which are available. We have two types of integrations right now behind a feature flag. One is the webhook integration, the second is storage-based integrations, and a couple of options in each to get started off with. There's a consistent UI to assist you in ensuring that your integration is set up correctly. And if you need additional configuration capabilities, you can do that via the config files which are there. It's not only going to increase your understanding of the OHI datasets which is there, but also help you manage your nodes better and in a more flexible way if the current reporting is insufficient for different parameters. Some of the use cases where it could be helpful includes security dashboards. So if your organization has a specific inclination towards specific systems, third-party reporting platforms, then you can eject your data from Automate and move it to those system of records which are applicable for your organizations. Likewise, for IT service management use cases, we have found great use while doing the research, and we're hopeful that it's going to solve a lot of problems for most of you. That said, maybe I can share some motivations of why we went ahead with this capability. It was a long due ask, I believe, and we are grateful that we are nearing closer. So primarily, we want you to be successful. We want you to improve your visibility capabilities. We want you to make good sense of the rich chef data which your systems are generating. And we want you to be flexible in your reporting needs. This way, we not only empower you, but we also encourage creativity in you to get the visualizations to the desired granularity, which may be there for your business case. Needless to say, you have a consistent UI support to have these integration set up on your system of records. With this, we believe that the integrations to the third-party systems will also happen, and this system will become a part of your normal workflow. There are 4 types of webhook integrations available now, and maybe 2 types of storage types integrations, but this will be covered in the next few slides. So when I talk about the consistent UI flow, which is there, here are a few screens which can help you understand that. So you have a screen on the left-hand side to create new integration. You have options to select the integration you want to go after. And there are very limited parameters which are asked, like the URL endpoints or the authentication type with the token type and code. Likewise, once you create your integrations, it will be listed in a tabular format. You can go into each of that and see the global settings and also modify it with the configurations files which are available. That said, maybe it will be interesting to know like which integration is useful to you. Can we have another poll? So this list covers for a few which we already have and a few wherein we are contemplating. So your contribution can be helpful in shaping that up. Right, if we can have the results, please. Oh, so ServiceNow is the most asked one. We see equal participation and ask for Kibana and Splunk as well as custom webhook. Oh, Amazon S3 has also got a good ask, and so is Grafana. This is really encouraging. I mean, we get good insights. Thank you. Maybe we'll move to Sharan next. I see a raised hand.
Sorry, Ankur, it was by me by mistake. Ignore
Sure.
that.
Yeah, maybe Sharan, you can get started from here. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you, Ankur. Hello, everyone. My name is Sharan Riker. I'm the product manager for Chef Compliance. And today we'll be specifically speaking about how data feed would be applicable, how it's relevant from a Chef Compliance perspective. Specifically, we'll target the ServiceNow integration. As many of you have, kind of indicated, a lot of orientation towards ServiceNow being one of the common data feed that you are using. So in terms of, as Ankur also mentioned, one of the challenges organizations are facing today is really the lack of visibility across their multiple environments, specifically across their hybrid cloud environments. There are a lot of tools available in the market, but they provide a very partial visibility. And also for an enterprise to really consume all the data from different places and integrate at one particular place is a very complex task. So this complexity is also really increased because there's a huge volume of the data. Also, there's a huge variance in terms of the data across different platforms. So with data feed, what you basically get is you get one place wherein all your compliance data, your cloud compliance data, as well as your on-prem compliance, which can be related to your software compliance, or it can be operating system compliance. All of that can be integrated. It can be assembled at one particular place. So this comprehensive visibility basically enables you to really have a complete view of your fleet, ranging from operating systems to your hypervisor environments, to all the way to your cloud environments, and as well as some of your app environments. What it basically enables you to do is to really kind of flag any kind of security and compliance risks. and you can actually generally take the corrective actions. Basically enables you to tackle your compliance threats. So whenever configuration changes are detected by your chef compliance scans from the automate, they get synchronized with the ServiceNow via the data feed capability, and you get details on the specific targets, which are the specific target system where the configuration changes have happened. You also get information on the platform involved, and a whole bunch of other associated information. And this detailed data on the new and the modified compliance information also enables you to plan for your internal and external audits. One of the other aspects where the data feed really helps is once you have a bunch of data at one particular place, either from on any type of integration, you can actually generally plan any types of any kind of system hardening or security setting changes on your infra, on your applications, or on your cloud platforms, or it can be even on your orchestration systems. So basically, you can actually plan your installation, you can plan your patches, you can plan your upgrades. All of that can be done, really enabling you to meet your compliance in a regulated environment. One of the other key use case the data feed helps is to really enable you to have a continuous buildup of detailed and informative inventory. You really get an unlimited data retention, and you get a rich compliance information. All the profiles that we have on the from the automate side, each of the profile run details also get exposed on the ServiceNow data feed. So you get information like the target system, which is basically the node name or the node ID. You also get the identity of your target system, which can be your IP addresses. You also get the environment, the platform involved, the status, as well as the time of the run. All of this is really captured. So you really get a very granular information, and you can take it further to do future analysis, or you can actually generally generate incidents out of it. So not only can you view each of the profiles run, you can also drill down on each of the control. You can verify its, you can actually generally verify its execution status. You can actually generally review the code snippet, which is associated with each of the control. And you can also understand the impact of that particular control. So a lot of information in terms of how a control is actually impacting your compliance posture. Additionally, you can also view when the scan was executed, and you can also actually generally know the reason for failure of a particular message. So you can take the corrective action. Either you can actually generally move it to an incident management and generate incidents and assign it to a third party or to a different team, or you can actually kind of ignore that particular message if it's something not deemed that important for your enterprise. So that's pretty much from my end, and I'll hand over to Vivek to help you with the architectural flow.
Thank you, Sharon. I'll share my screen. Okay. In terms of architecture for data feed, Chef as a whole product is consuming two parts, which is one which is receiving data from our Chef infra clients, and also the UI dashboard where you see all the data and you can visualize that. And then there is integration part, which we have a push mechanism for sending data to multiple integrations, which could be possible. Like you have ServiceNow API integration, or a custom webhook, or Elk, or you can go to storage types, maybe S3 or Minio, or also Splunk. With S3 and Minio, you get an advantage of you can also push that data forward into Lambda, SQS, or even Splunk and Elk also. So it's like if you make this process as asynchronous, it becomes more scalable, and large amount of data can be processed there. Also, S3 and Minayo also work as your archiving solutions, which you can take advantage of. Now we'll go in deep into the ServiceNow application, which we have released recently with a new upgrade of scalability. ServiceNow REST API receives the data and then, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Vivek, we can hear you.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. So now after we receive the API, it gets event is triggered, and then event is sent to a event queue, and because of this queue, the asynchronous jobs get triggered in the action scripts, and these script actions are in two parts. One processes for the data which is coming from client runs, and one which processes compliance data. So there are two parallel queues which are processing them. Then there's transformation maps which resolve and map those data into relevant tables. Like for the client runs, it goes into CMDB tables, and for compliance, it goes to compliance reports and scans. Okay. After this, we come to demo part. In demo, we'll be covering out the new ServiceNow data feed integration, and we'll explain how the global settings impact and how we can change them. Then we add a Splunk integration, and we show how a node and how we can run the compliance scan. Then how we can visualize the data in ServiceNow, and how we can see the data in Splunk. Okay. Now I'll stop sharing this one and I'll start sharing the demo. We have prepared like to avoid any glitches. We have recorded the video, so you'll be able to see it via this. Okay, we are starting with the demo. So we log in with our credentials. For this case, we have admin directly, but you might be having a certain user. Okay, ignoring the pop-up. So right now we know that data feed feature is behind a feature flag. So we'll have to turn on the feature flag. For this, we write FEAT, and then this pop-up comes. And then we see, after refreshing the screen, we see the data feeds have come here in the site navigation. Currently, you can see that there's no integration. Let's add ServiceNow integration by clicking on ServiceNow icon. Now here are the details we need to add. The details will be like the URL of your ServiceNow instance. We're copy pasting stuff. Wrong paste. Let's correct that. Okay. Now the credentials will be for the user which has access to those required roles to submit data in ServiceNow. We'll test the connection. Once it is successful, that means it is reachable. Then we'll save it. And here we have this detailed view where we can see global settings. So here you can see data feed interval is 4 hours and node batch size is 50. So this is how the data will be sent from Chef Automate to ServiceNow. Okay. Now to change the global configurations, we come to console. Here we can see we have created a patch file which is consisting the change in the feed interval from 4 hours to 2 minutes, because it is a demo, so we don't want to wait for much time. And then we patch the configuration into the service, and then it redeploys. So right now we have kept it like in the process of console. to update the patch because it requires restart of the machine, and only privileged users will be able to do that. But we might think about other interfaces. So here you can see it has changed. Okay, now the list, here we have new option of enable disable. So enable disable allows you to test your integrations if they're ready, or some maintenance work is happening on the service. You can disable that connection for some period and enable it later. So we suggest that you should not have more than 5 data feeds, because it will impact your system performance, because it takes your connections and pushes data. It takes time to push into each service. So it is better if you not have more than 5, but you can scale if your system requires that. Now we'll add Splunk integration. So right now we have started a Splunk demo with a Docker image, and we are just trying to connect to that. So the URL will be host URL. Yeah, so this IP address is actually for the Docker host machine. And then we have a token for Splunk. By default, this prefix is Splunk, but if you have something else integrated, you can modify this by editing and then paste the token there and then test the connection. After test is successful, you can save it. Okay, the screen is almost similar, where you can test and see the global settings and then enable, disable the same features which were in the ServiceNow. Let's move forward now. We'll add node by adding first the credential of the node in the sense of VM. So here we are adding one node of one node's credential first. So this is a Linux machine, so we'll have SH and the credentials we are pasting here. Okay. After adding credentials, and if it is successful, now we can move forward and go to the scan job, add a node. We have the IP address of the machine. We'll add it here. Then we'll give some prefix. It's like a name which is being created dynamically for you by having the IP, and then when we select the credentials to use it with this machine, the node is added. It is right now unknown, but it will be reachable in some time. Next, we are adding integration with Azure. So Azure, we are adding API integration. That means we'll be able to run profiles for the cloud management. We'll add the credentials. Client ID, secret ID, and then tenant ID. Yeah. This is enough. We'll save it. This is added now as an integration to Azure API. After clicking here, we can see which all subscriptions we have. We'll go to compliance. And here we'll start scan jobs. So here we can see nodes which are added. Hopefully they'll become reachable soon when we start to scan. Cool. Now we can see over here the list of node. Right now it is only one. We'll select a profile for workstation, then give a name, do an ad hoc scan. We can also schedule it, but right now we are not trying that. Next, we have started a VM scan job. Now we can also create one more API scan job. In API, we can see there are two nodes which are found. These are subscription IDs. We'll select a profile relevant for that, and then start the scan. Okay, now the scan is running. We'll have to wait for some time, but then it got completed. And then we can see the job is there. So this was a demo purpose machines, and we that's why there'll be some failures only. So we'll go to node. We can see the profile. Here the node is there. These are details of the report. So these are the past ones. Some of them we are going through, but yeah, the main purpose of the demo is for data feed integration. We are just showing you that this had some results, successful and failures both. And this was a node ID, and let's go and see the VM scan job, API scan job now. So here in API scans, we have two nodes which are subscription IDs. These two, we can see the past ones. So how this is running, basically those profiles which generated these reports, and now you can see the report has successful and failure results, which is collected in Chef Automate. Okay. Fine. These are the node credentials. Nodes. Okay. Let's now move forward. So let's data is received on ServiceNow. We'll start with that. We'll search. So after installing the app, you'll be able to see these tables. So these tables are consisting of the data which is received. This is the event table, which first receives the data, raw state. It is not processed. After receiving it in event, then it is processed into, and compliance tables are populated with the same job IDs and details of those scans. So here you can see. We're just confirming that the same data was received. Okay, cool. So there were job IDs, two are same because there was two nodes in that, and one was the VM scan, that is a different job. Okay. Let's move forward, and here you can see the table of compliance profile controls. So these are the controls which are automatically populated in your tables in ServiceNow. So these are the profiles and report results, basically a collection of past and failures. And this is the compliance imported data. So here you can see the actual details. Now we go to Splunk. In Splunk also, the data is received in JSON format, which is processed, which is passed by Splunk, and then you can do filtering on that. Here just we are showing the same, those job profile, job IDs and other things are similar. So 3 node data is received. So in terms of Splunk integration, it'll be better if you have your batch size as 1, so that each record will be for 1 node, just to ensure that when you're having integration with Splunk, you ensure that configuration is there. We'll document it also. So now we are just converting that into a table format to visualize that, the result. So here you can see the data which you had sent can be visualized in this way in the table format. Now, just a sample of visualization which can be done in Splunk. We'll put some queries to convert the data into some graph forms. So right now here we are collecting the control passed and failed results, skipped or passed failed basically for this case of example. You can change the visualization by clicking on that chart icon. And we have multiple options there which you can leverage. So this visualization is just for example, but I think your teams will be knowing how to visualize, and they can create their own graphs and make more sense of the data which is relevant for them. These are the nodes which are there. Okay. Yeah, we are done now.